Today we will be making these Volvelles using Monet's 1919 Water Lilies painting as our cover art. Heads up, this step-by-step tutorial video is actually for those who've already purchased the template from me, so if you don't have the template, you will not be able to create this. So go to kitchencricut.com and get your template and then come back here. After purchasing the templates, you'll receive an email where you can download the SVG file and the PDF. Now remember where you put those so it's easy to find them a little later. Go ahead and open your PDF file, and page 1 is starting off strong with our supplies list. This is everything you will need for this project. If you need something, you can click on Shop My Amazon list and view my Amazon storefront. This is everything I use for Cricut, so make sure to go back to the list and see exactly what you need. You can also go on this page and just click one of these items directly and it'll take you directly to that product. Just make sure you have your supplies before you get started so that when you're done designing, it's ready to go. Alright, to the designing part. Open Canva template. This is where you are going to create your wheel. This is where you'll put all of the information. You can put information or you can put images, whichever you prefer, but this is where we will be designing the images for our wheel. This is information for when you download these images and the settings that need to happen, but I will chat with you about that here directly as well. So the first oval is an image. You can drag and drop an image. If you need to resize it, you just double click it, or you can skip the images altogether and just design the oval, the plain oval. You can change the color of that if you want to. You can add text. You can write your names. You can write your wedding date, whatever information that you're needing to provide. This is where you really customize your Volvelle by creating the information that will go on your wheel. So feel free to do whatever you want with this one. Just make sure that you're creating 4. You will need 4 images or 4 ovals with information to put on top of our wheel. Tap your phone here to view our wedding website. That's coming soon. I'm going to drop a tutorial on how to use NFC tags to make your invitation wedding suites really seamless and easy, and people just tap their phone and it goes straight to your website. Once all 4 of your ovals are ready, we're going to go ahead and download them. Make sure that you're downloading these as PNG files, not a JPEG, not an SVG file. Make sure it's a PNG file. And the other important thing to remember is make sure it has a transparent background. That little box needs to be checked. Lastly, make sure that you are downloading all 4 of your ovals. These will be what we put on the wheel when we import them into Cricut Design Space. Once you download these, let them download. Remember where you keep them so they're easy to find, and then we will open Cricut Design Space. Once in Cricut Design Space, you can go ahead and upload. You're going to want to find the SVG and the PNG from earlier. Let's start with the SVG file. Drag and drop that guy in there, hit continue, upload. Alright, our layers panel on the right hand side, our SVG file is grouped, so we can go ahead and hit that arrow. The first one is going to be my copyright. If you'd like, you can just delete that. Definitely delete it or hide it because you don't want that to be printed on our actual cover. Please don't steal my stuff, that'd be great. The next one is going to be our score lines. We need to make sure that the Cricut is going to score those so that we can fold it, so make sure to change that to score. The next one is basic cut. Those can stay basic cuts because Cricut will cut those out. You can leave them white. The next one, we want to make sure to change this shape to white because it's not going to be printed that green color. We're putting the Monet Water Lilies on top. Speaking of that, we will download the PNG file, the actual water lilies from Monet, and continue. This process takes a little bit of time because it's a really high resolution. We want a flat graphic, so make sure to click that and then continue, upload. Loading image. Now, when this first uploads, you're going to see an exclamation mark next to it, and you might freak out like I did when I first saw it. It's really just because the image is so large, and it'll go away once we resize it. So go ahead and hit the size button at the very top panel and unlock. We don't want it to lock, we need it unlocked, and the width should be 9 and the height should be 6. And then we're just going to drag that over onto, I'm just letting you know that the exclamation mark went away. We're going to drag that over on top of our basic cut shape. Now in the layers panel, you're going to want to actually drag that down on top of the basic cut shape. so that those are together. If you want to rearrange them a smidge just to make sure that we aligned it properly, you're welcome to. But make sure that before we move on that the actual painting picture is on top. And once we do that, we're going to grab the PNG we just downloaded as well as the basic shape together and hit flatten. Now before moving on to the wheel, we need to group these. So anything related to the cover, which is going to be that first score lines as well as the basic cut and the flattened part we just made, needs to be attached. Now for our wheel, we'll have two items listed in our layers category. It's the basic cut shape as well as the wording I added that says top. We will delete that before we print, but for now let's leave it because we need those to know which way our images should go so that they are right side up. You're also welcome to change the color of your wheel. If you want to be fancy and specific about a color, you can hit advanced and move it on over. You could also add the number of the color down below, but I'm gonna just go back to my green color. Once that is ready to go, we will go ahead and upload our images. So you'll want to find the images that you downloaded from Canva earlier. And if you're using images, great. If you're not and you're using wording or font, it's the same process. Make sure it's a flat graphic. All of them will be flat graphics. Continue, upload. Now, when our images first load, we'll see that exclamation mark again. It's just because the image is so large, but that'll go away once we downsize or resize our image. For now, the goal is to just upload all 4 of the images that will be included in our wheel. We will place them where they need to after we have all 4 images ready. So make sure to just download all 4, the same process. Continue, apply and continue, flat graphic. They will all be flat graphics. Once all 4 of our images are uploaded, we will want to change the background color to an obnoxious color. I know it's annoying, I'm sorry, it's temporary. I'll explain why in a minute. And then from there, we'll go ahead and drag and drop our images behind the wheel. Make sure to resize them so that they fit appropriately. The reason we changed it to an obnoxious color is super important. It's because it helps you to see if there's gaps or slices in between our image and the wheel. So I'll kind of show you an example right now of what that would look like. Now, if we leave it like this, the Cricut machine is going to cut that out and it'll ruin our wheel and we'll have to go in and fix it. So make sure to really pay attention to that now. Be diligent to make sure that's not there now so that we don't have to deal with it later. Now, you'll go ahead and do the same thing for all 4 of your images. The order of the images doesn't really matter because the wheel will be rotating anyways. Make sure, though, to follow the word top. That should be where the top of your images go to avoid any of the images from accidentally being upside down. And we will delete top later on, but for now, leave them because you want to make sure that you're putting the images where you need to. You will repeat this step for all 4 of your oval shape images. Once that is done, we'll change our background color to a not obnoxious color, and we are going to focus again on our layers panel. So go ahead and go to the right to the layers area, and we're going to find the 4 images we just uploaded as well as the basic wheel cut shape. Real quick, if your wheel is not directly above in the same line as your images, make sure to move it over so that they are completely stacked on top of each other. Once the wheel is directly above your 4 images, we're going to click each of those, so you'll have 5 highlighted total. Make sure the wheel is at the very top and hit flatten. From there, now that our wheel is flattened, we want to find the group where the words top are and delete that before we move forward with the print. Delete or hide, whichever one you want to do. Now, once that's gone, you'll have 2 things listed. You'll have your group, and then the wheel is flattened. So you have the cover group, which is already attached from earlier. And then you'll also have your flattened the wheel. So just make sure that yours looks like that, the group and then the flattened part. And when you're ready, go ahead and click Make. For the material size, I will be setting it to the standard letter size. That's just the paper I use. I would suggest a 65-pound paper would be perfect. And send to printer. Next. We do not need to add bleed, but we do need to add system dialog. I use this every single time I print anything using my Cricut. Why? Because I'm printing directly through my computer now instead of through Cricut Design Space, which means print quality I can change to high, I can change the paper. It's just a better quality print when you print through your computer and not through Cricut Design Space. Because we're printing a Monet's Water Lilies, like an actual painting, we do want to take advantage of this, so make sure that you are figuring out your printer settings and make sure you're using your printer at the highest quality that is available to you. Once that's printed, we will go ahead and our base material is going to be medium cardstock, and I like to keep it at default, and we're starting off with our score tool. If you're not using a maker, make sure you're using a score stylus. For our Volvelle cover, I will be using a light grip mat. Make sure that the arrow printed is facing the top of the mat. And if you do not have a brayer tool, I would get one. I don't know why those are so convenient, but they work so well. They make sure that the paper is like actually sticking to the mat, which helps a lot in the long run. So make sure you're using a brayer. From there, go ahead and load your mat into your machine. Reminder, this is going to take a minute because your machine has to read the print then cut guidelines. The first tool that we will be using is the scoring tool. So whether you have the housing unit and you use the score tip, or if you have the actual score wheel, or if you have an older Cricut, you might be using the score stylus, or it's called a stylus. Whatever score tool you have, that's the one we're starting strong with. Next, we are going to use our fine point blade. Super convenient, by the way, that every time you need to change to a different tool, your Cricut Design Space on your computer will let you know which one you need to be using. Now, when we remove this from our mat and we clean off our mat, this is just Cricut 101, you can take off the paper directly like how I am here, but sometimes if your mat is too sticky, it curves the paper. So to avoid that, you flip the mat upside down and you remove the mat from the paper instead of removing the paper from the mat. It's just a secret trick that for whatever reason works every time. So make sure you're doing that to avoid adding any curves into the paper. And we need to print our wheel. Next, reminder that we don't need the bleed, but yes to system dialog every single time. That's going to make sure that we can print through our computer settings and not through the Cricut Design Space app directly. Print. And done. We will do medium cardstock, and I like to leave it at default, and the first thing we'll need is our fine point blade. Reminder when you're placing this on your light grip mat that the arrow needs to be facing forward. We will load our mat, and reminder it'll take a minute for your Cricut machine to read the print then cut lines, and then when it's ready, it'll cut it out. We'll do the same thing that we did for our cover and flip your mat over and remove the mat from the paper. Really just try to avoid curving the paper too much. We'll grab our cover and we want to fold along the score lines. I do like to use my bone tool just because it helps make it a little bit crisper in my opinion, but feel free to just fold it however since the Cricut already scored it. And then from there we're going to get our tape and tape just the top and the bottom to create our cover. Now your cover is not going to lay completely flat. It'll have somewhat of an opening in the center, and that's really just to make room for our wheel to sit nicely and like comfortable in there. So that was intentional if you're a little bit confused about that part. Go ahead and insert your wheel and line up the 3 holes. You have the hole on the front and the back side of your cover as well as the wheel. And we are ready to assemble. So I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about paper fasteners or mini brads versus grommets, sometimes called eyelets. If you are creating these just for fun, the paper fasteners like this, or sometimes they call them mini brads, they're great. They're not as durable in my opinion, but if this is just a fun little craft that you are not mailing, then I think you should be fine. I do prefer using the grommets like this one. Sometimes people call them eyelets, but they are technically grommets. The reason is they're just more sturdy, more durable in my opinion, and they're thinner. So if you're including this in a wedding invitation or any type of invitation, or if you are mailing them, then you'll want to use the thinner option. So I'm going to put the paper brads to the side and show you how I use my grommets with the washers. Okay, for the grommets and washer portion of this, the washer, the one I'm using now, it's like a thinner back part, and then the grommet sits on top of that and you squish them together, which locks in our Volvelle. If we were using an eyelet is something that you squish amongst itself. It would not have a washer, but we need the washer to make sure that our Volvelle does not fall apart. So make sure that you're getting both of those pieces together, the grommet as well as the washer. Honestly too, that's just what the difference between an eyelet and a grommet is. An eyelet is one piece, whereas a grommet is two. Now I'm going to place the washer down for now, but the grommet portion, the larger portion, is going to go in the center through all three of the holes on top of our Volvelle. Now make sure your grommet goes all the way through to the back, and then I will place that aside and grab my crocodile tool. I love this tool. It is linked in my Amazon storefront. It's a little bit extra, meaning like kind of big. It's definitely not small, but I liked it because it reached easily the middle of my card. It's also a hole punch, and I had to make like 75 of these, and I didn't want to use the hammer. The hammer toolkit is usually what comes with the grommet. So you'll just kind of want that. I do have a video using the crocodile tool because there's a lot of settings, so I'll link that in the description. Make sure that when you are putting your grommet on, it is not too tight. If your wheel is not rotating smoothly, you likely did the grommet too tight. It needs to be tight enough to stay on, but loose enough to spin nicely. And that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoy your Volvelles.